Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey, everybody, I am Brad Varnell. This is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel, and it is Tuesday, February 24th, and I am sitting here in Arizona. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning and looking forward to spending a few minutes with you here today. Oh, my goodness. I don't even recognize myself after shaving. Let me share my screen here real fast. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. And let's get over here. So this is what I've been doing. I was telling you guys yesterday that one of my strategies is to do some buying of some things that I wanted to do. I've been talking about NOS here, Nosana, for a while, and I'm definitely glad that I didn't pull the trigger back when I first started talking about it. Had I had any idea, because I think I was talking about it around here at 75 cents or so. All right, in this area here, and anyways, I was able to pick up 1,000 of them yesterday for about $150. And my plan is just to stake them 365-day stakes for. I thought when I was inputting the numbers that if I staked it for like 900 days, I was going to get like almost a 40% ROI. And then when I went to do that, it wouldn't let me. 365 days was the max that I could do. And it is a little bit lower. I don't know if the people that were in before were grandfathered in. But as you can see here, I actually own 1,037 Nosana. And if I stake them right now, I'm going to actually end up with about 18% APY. But I'm trying to get all of the details because I didn't like this little pop-up window when I hit the button. It says, "Are you aware your tokens will only be linearly released based on your unstake period after you unstake?" So I'm over in their Discord right now trying to find out here. So it's a guy says when you unstake a 365-day stake, you wait 365 days. That's how it works. So that's kind of weird. And that might throw me all the way off of this investment. Like, I'm not going to, like, staking it for 365 days is bad enough. The only reason I was willing to do that is I figured this was a token that I would probably stake for till 2026. I'd stake it till 2027, 2028. So I would stake it for 2 full years, compounding. And then in February of 28, I would look at the markets. Bitcoin won't have halved yet. And so I was thinking that actually February of 29 wouldn't be an awful time to get them, or I could start staking them for a lower period of time, like 3 months at a time. Anyways, so I was going to stake them for, between 2 and 3 years, but I'm definitely not staking them if I have to if I'm going to wait 365 days after I unstake them. So the other thing that I wasn't totally clear on is if this half a Nosana that I'm supposed to get per day, if that shows up in my wallet and is actually liquid, or if it is locked too. So long story short, guys, I pulled the trigger, bought the token, but now I'm kind of in limbo. It seems like the Discord here was pretty busy last night, like from 3 in the morning until about 8 o'clock in the morning. But like right now, nobody's answered. I just asked this question. But anyways, I'm just kind of doing what I was talking about with you guys. Now, in general, part of the reason that I was looking at this was passive income. We're talking about passive income being the key to 2026. Today's going to be a somewhat short Zoom because Mr. Pablo Noodles and I, Paul Nalder and I, are going to get together, and we got a Zoom that I'm going to be listening in on of his that he invited me to at 11 o'clock because he's got something going on that looks very, very interesting. That not only would maybe benefit me health wise, but could potentially turn into a passive income stream too. So I'm not kidding when I say that 2026 is the year of passive income. I'm really looking if it doesn't have any passive income attached to it. I'm not saying I won't do it. There's still some possibilities. Like I'm still buying some crypto that doesn't necessarily create passive income, but most of my energy is going into how do I create passive income so that I can be in the Bahamas enjoying swimming with the turtles with my wife and not be worrying about how the bills are going to get paid. How can I get to $20,000 a month as fast as absolutely possible and create some, really amazing freedom? And that's what we're doing today. So that's why I'm going to be hopping off here, like I said, at a little earlier than, well, not super early, but a little quicker than normal. And looking forward to chatting with Paul a little bit later. What about you guys? How's everybody doing? We got Mr. Sean Kryptoon 5 here. Welcome. Good morning. Dave P. Good morning. Pablo Noodles. Good morning. Mr. Vanish Joseph. How you doing? Good morning. Hey, Tim. Good to see you, Tim. I could be losing my mind, but if I recollect correctly, I don't remember seeing you yesterday. So glad to have you back in action. Hope you guys are all doing. And then we've got Adam Simpson. Good morning. Hope you are doing fantastic too, Adam. Thank you for being here. And we're bringing them all back in. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully they'll be quieter than they were being during the introduction. But yeah. So with that, what's going on with you, all you kind fellows and ladies, if there's any ladies out there? What are you guys up to? Has anybody that's watching the video today? Bye, son. Love you. Does any of you have any passive income ideas? Do me a favor. If you're watching today's video and you've got an idea for a passive income stream that you haven't started implementing, throw a 1 in the chat. If you've already got a passive income stream that you're working on, whether it be, whatever, like I consider my Atom that's locked in, that's being staked on my Coinbase, earning me 15% a year. That's technically a income stream. So if you've got a income stream idea that you haven't implemented, throw 1 in the chat. If you've already got some passive income coming in from something crypto related, put a 2 in the chat. If you have something coming in, passive income stream related, or passive income stream that's not crypto related, like Paul's opportunity that I'm going to be looking at today has nothing to do with crypto. If you've got a passive income stream that's not dependent upon crypto, put a 3 in the chat. What's the last one? So a 1 if you got an idea, a 2 if you've got crypto passive income, and a 3 if you've got any type of passive income outside of crypto. There we go. Mr. Pablo has a 2. Mr. Pablo has a 2. That's it for now. So nobody else even has a 1. Nobody else has an idea. I know you guys are just being shy. Mr. Adam Simpson, I'm gonna respect Mr. Bobby Gray's wishes, and I'm not gonna be talking about Texacoin on this particular stream. I mean, long story short, until the lawyers figure out what's going on and we get word back, there's really no constructive use of trying to guess what's going to happen. I'm still pretty optimistic, but there's no like I say, it's all just conjecture at this point, and there's no real nobody knows until it happens. So um, I'm still very glad that I own what I own and that I've done what I've done. And once again, I still think that over the course of the upcoming months and years, that I'm going to be glad that I jumped into Texacoin when I did, but hard to say. Have no real for sure idea that is going to be the case. As I mentioned yesterday, for those of you that were watching, I'm kind of staying away from trading. That's, we were talking about how this wise. There we go. You can see here my trades are in real bad shape. I got $100 into VET, and it is down 54%. And then this one is kind of crazy. This avalanche trade is cross marginalized, which means that because there is USDT in my account, it hasn't gotten liquidated, but it should have, because 5% of $11 is a little over $1. So at $11.21 entry price, this thing should have liquidated at about $10, and instead it's down to $8.36. But my liquidation price is still $5.79. But what you guys don't or haven't seen is this $152 in USDT used to be like $400. So what it's done, as the prices drop below the liquidation price, what would be a normal liquidation price at 5 times leverage, is it's started sucking up my USDT. So even though it's only showing $271 worth of an investment, I'm actually going to end up losing like 600 or 700 if it somehow goes down to $5.78. On the flip side, instead of already being out my 240 or my 270, I still have the potential to, have this trade turn around as the market turns around and we start heading in the right direction. I still have the ability to have this trade turn around and become a winner. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like, I've got way more invested in it than I would prefer. I would have preferred to do ladders, and I just kind of got caught flat-footed. I would have preferred to do ladders as this thing came down and have all 600 or 700 into the trade with my liquidation price way lower than the current price, and have $700 in the trade that I'm actually making money on if it reverses. But it is what it is, and right now I've just decided to kind of ride this out and see what happens. Excuse me. If we end up seeing Bitcoin go down into the 50s like we were talking about yesterday, I don't know what's going to happen here. $8.35 right this second, and we could be hitting this $5.79. That would be an incredible price to be picking up some avalanche. So nobody else, only Pablo Noodles. And Pablo, you're a 1 too, Pablo. And I know a couple other people in this chat are definitely ones that have, or twos, I mean, or that, no, one, I screwed, what was it? Three was crypto. One was had an idea. Two, no, yeah, okay. Paul, you're a two and a three, right? Paul's a two and a three. And I know a bunch of the guys in the chat here are twos that you've got a little bit of passive income strategies with crypto. So, what we got going on here? I'm going to pop over here. I was showing you guys this trading platform a few weeks ago. Have had a couple of you guys jump into it. I now have $1,131 currently trading in the platform. Really excited about this platform. This AI trading algorithm basically trades Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP and Solana. And over the last 19 months has averaged 22% a month. I'm on a 60-40 split with the company, with the founder and with the owners and with the company. I'm on a 60-40 split. So that means if they're earning on average 22%, 6% of 22 is a little over 13. So I'm earning about 13% on my money. I'm also compounding that every single week. I'm taking my earnings and just putting them back into the dashboard and growing this as I go. If we go over here to trading, oops. That's wonderful. They got the TV turned on somehow. Or is that you? Now they muted it. My cat's got the key TV on. No, now it's not muted. It was muted for a second.
I'll get it.
It's not.
But this is
It's not cats. It's Royal.
Roy. Oh, so
The TV remote.
So this is the trading that is happening on my behalf. This is probably the passive income vehicle that I'm the most excited about because it does have a crypto inherent crypto part to it that I understand. The second thing that I really like about this is this trading algorithm works in an up market or a down market. It's been profitable over the last, like I said, 19 months, but even over the last 2-3 months when crypto has been getting beaten down, this has been profitable every single week. And so if we go to view details, so we can see here, if we go to the week, that right now we're at a little over 2% for the week. Last week was a slow week. Last week was only 1.62% in profits, which is pretty low. In order to average 22% a month, it's got to be a little bit more like around 5.5%. But we're on pace for that this week. But you guys can see here, profit in the last 30 days, 15%. That's a little lower than 22, but once again, there's going to be some months that are lower, some months that are higher. This thing is done as much as 39%. And I'm working my way up when I get to it. You can look, we can see here for the month, and then if we get out here a little bit further, and you can really start seeing the power. So it's at 38% for the last 3 months, 100% for the last 6 months, and 500% for the last year had you been compounding. So had I thrown $1,000 into this a year ago and let it just compound, I would have turned 1,000 into 5,000. The other thing that I like about this is as you get more money trading, the performance fee goes down. So when this turns into 2,000, I'll be on a 65-30 split. When it gets to 8,000, it's down to a 70-30 split, and all the way up at $100,000, you can get down to a 80-20 split in my favor. And a lot of you guys are probably looking at this and be like, man, how are you ever going to get to 100,000? But you would be amazed at how fast something like this can grow. There's also a referral aspect of it. So I have told several people about this program, and I've had multiple people that have, thrown funds in. I don't know if this page shows it here. I don't really want to pull up my referral pay, but I guess it's not that big of a deal. But you can see here trading volume $26,148. So although I have only put, even including my compounding, I've only put about $1,100 into the platform. There's $26,148 in the platform because other people that I have referred, like my good friend Dr. David Bertner down here, has 8,200 in the platform, and so on and so forth. There's different people that have different amounts. My friend Bill here, Bill Volpentist, has a little over 8,000 in the platform. So several of the people that I have referred have had, a better financial situation, have been able to take better advantage of this than me. And so I will continue to get more money in this. When I showed this to you guys 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a little over $100 in here, and I've been able to compound and then add my referral money that's come in, and then a little bit more of my own cash flow to get this up to $1,131. So this is another very, very viable option for all of you. And if any of you that are watching would like more information, I can shoot over a link to my landing page that has 2 or 3 different videos you can watch, and you can get all of the details on this opportunity. So let me see here. Dave put in a 2. I forget what 2 was. 2 was crypto, and then 3 was something outside of crypto. So Dave's got some crypto stuff going on, nothing outside of crypto. So guys, that's one of the things that we really want to work on. Everybody's going to have their own different view on this, but I think we figured out over the last 4 or 5 years that crypto can be pretty volatile, and that it doesn't care what we want. It's going to do what it wants to do. And so I really think that Paul is, smart for working on some stuff that is outside of crypto. Like I said, the platform that I just showed you guys technically is, working in crypto, but it's not dependent upon crypto going up. So even though it is kind of crypto related, I almost view it like an investment that's outside of crypto to a certain extent. Excuse me. And then the way, like I was showing you guys my wife's book yesterday, you would be amazed how quickly you can put a book together. So if you've got a book idea that you've been thinking about, I highly recommend you figuring out how to write a book. And excuse me, darn nose sniffling. One of the things that we're going to do on our mastermind is we're going to help people with those steps. And so it's pretty nice that I've got a wife that has gone all the way from step A to step Z, so she can kind of help me polish off and finish the book that I've been planning on writing now for a lot of years, and it's still not done, but it's still in the works. And I think it's going to be, able to get finished faster than ever. And guys, that's an income stream. When you finish a book, that's an income stream that could be paying you still 20, 30 years down the road. Music. If any of you are musically inclined, there's ways that you can create songs. There's ways that you can get your music on Spotify and Apple and so on and so forth and get paid for that. There's so many different ways to create passive income outside of crypto. And I just love the idea of at least 1 or 2 of my income streams not being dependent, upon a cryptocurrency. One of my favorite authors in the whole world, Mr. Myron Golden, He wrote a book called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man back in 2006. Excuse me. From the Trash Man to the Cash Man back in 2006. He sold $81,000 worth of that book in 2025. $81,000 from a book that he wrote 20 years ago. There's a lot of us that if we had an $81,000 passive income stream, we'd be done. Like with 81 grand coming in from a book every single year. I'm sure it's a little bit less, a little bit more, but he's been making significant money from that book, for a lot of years. He also wrote a book in 2020 or 2021 called Boss Business Moves. And that one makes him even more. I don't remember the exact number. The 81,000 stuck out to me like crazy on the 20-year-old book. And then I believe I want to say it's like 130,000 for his newer book because it's also costs. It's a little bit more expensive. But long story short, just between those two books, he's got $200,000 in income coming in every year. And most of us could probably live relatively reasonably off of a couple $100,000. So, yeah, I mean, he's got an audience. So you got to learn some skills. If you want to create meaningful passive income, some skills that are important in life, you got to learn some skills. I mean, even Mr. Paul Nalder, him and I are good friends, but he had to work up the courage to actually tell me about this business opportunity that I'm going to be looking at 11 o'clock. He had to message me and tell me a little bit about it and invite me to get on the Zoom today at 11 o'clock. And I guarantee you that was probably a little uncomfortable. He probably thought, all sorts of crazy stuff to himself. Oh, what if, Brad's going to tell me I'm an idiot. Brad's not going to be interested. Brad's this, Brad's that. I'm guessing, I could be wrong. Maybe Pablo's super, super brave and maybe he didn't. But I would be willing to bet pretty good money that Pablo probably sat there in front of his phone and talked himself out of messaging me 5 or 10 or 15 times before he finally said, oh, hell with it. If I message Brad and he's not interested, it ain't going to affect my life. It ain't gonna change anything negatively if Brad is not willing to hop on this Zoom. But one of the things that you'll find, guys, is when you find somebody that's had some success in their life and that has big dreams, they're open. So if you are talking to people about opportunities and all you're getting is a bunch of negative, miserable feedback and a bunch of people telling you that you're stupid or you're crazy and that will never work and blah, 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 find some new people to talk to, because I guarantee you the more successful people are, generally the more open-minded that they are too. And so I'm excited here, in a few minutes to hop off and get on this Zoom and hear, what Paul is up to. So, Tim, yep, 2 out of 3. Yep, absolutely. So all of us need to work on having all three. Number one is an idea, something that we want to do potentially outside of crypto would be ideal, especially for this mastermind. Although I love the idea, if you guys got good crypto ideas on how to earn passive income, I'm all ears. But I would love on this mastermind for some of you to come to the group with ideas, whether you want help writing a book, like I say, making music, with a business of your own, with a business like Paul's, whatever it is that you are doing or want to do. I have a friend, and I wonder if I can pull this up real quick. I got to be fast because I don't want to be late. But let me see if I could pull this up really quickly. So I'm going to pull up my Instagram, and then I'm going to pull up, oh man, why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? Zach, that's right, Zach. Let me do a search here really quickly. Search for Zach. Gray, I think it is. Yeah. So let me pull this up here really quick for you guys. So this gentleman is actually the gentleman that got me introduced to Myron Golden, one of my biggest mentors. Right now he's mentoring me through his books and his YouTube, but I'm looking forward to joining one of his coaching programs. But look at this. I help EDM producers become headliners. And so he spends, you can see right here, modernheadliner.com unleash challenge. Let me click on that, see if we can pull that up. So he watched Myron Golden. He was actually a singer at my church. He watched Myron Golden, and then look at this. Now he's got an opportunity and then I'm sure that he has some other ways that he drives traffic to this website. But look at this. How to turn your music into content that builds a brand and creates a sustainable music career. So just a couple short years ago, he was just a musician. He was somebody that did some singing at the church and had some business skills. And he came up with this idea on how he could help other musicians actually monetize their music. And so, like, if any of you are sitting here watching today and you're musically inclined, but you thought to yourself that there wasn't any way to make money from your music, like, you don't got to go out and start a band and try to go out to the local hotspots and try to get some gigs, making no money and out in public in smoky rooms and blah blah blah. There's so many ways to create passive income now. And so here you go. We'll help you build your content strategy from the ground up live together during our 3-day event. How cool is that? So for any of you guys that are musically inclined, this is an absolutely crazy long link. But if there's anybody here that wants to take a look at what Zach does, I'm going to post this link right here into the in there, and you guys would be able to go. No, it won't. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. How can they reject my own comment? That's crazy. Anyways, guys, if you have any interest in something like this, let me know and I'll connect you. But like I say, it's amazing. He created this Instagram. He's now got 25,000 followers, and he just posts content on here talking about how he helps people. Like, I love this one right here. We can't hear it, but no one needs to see the vision but you. That is so crazy true. I can tell you guys that even most of you on the YouTube channel here, I love all of you, but there's a lot of you that have been watching me for years that don't necessarily see the vision that I have. And I mean, I'm not saying that you're against me, but you're not necessarily on board rowing the boat in the same direction as me either. But none of that matters. I'm the only one that needs to believe in my vision and continue to move forward. But the thing that I love about this little story here is this gentleman came across Myron Golden a couple 2-3 years ago. And then, long story short, he started taking what he learned from Myron Golden on the More Offers Challenge, Make More Offers Challenge. And now he's got an offer. The last time I talked to him in person was about a year ago, and he was making over 6 figures a year from this, from this Modern Headliner Unleashed Challenge. So with that, guys, just here to say that there's a million ways that we can make our dreams come true, that we can create the life and the lifestyle that we want to do. So with that, I love you all very much. I'm going to hop off of here and get ready to, I'm going to run to Dutch Bros. So, hey, Paul, full disclosure, I will be in my car going get me some coffee while I'm listening to the Zoom, but I will pay very good attention to the Zoom and then look forward to talking to you after the Zoom is over, Paul. So with that, God bless all of you. Sean or anybody else, House of Trades, I noticed you jump on. Dave P., Pablo and Tim are already doing this. So if any of you that aren't involved in this platform, have any questions, give me a call, shoot me a text. In fact, let me really quickly pop this up here for you guys so that if those of you that want to can call or text me at 725-275-8259. If any of you have an interest in learning more about this, no obligation, totally free for me to shoot a couple of videos over to you. No obligation. If you look at it closer, it's not your cup of tea, no problem. But you can text me on Telegram, you can text me on Discord, you can message me on Twitter, or you can call or text me here at 725-275-8259, and I will get you some more details. With that, I got to run. I love you all. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll be back on here next Monday. Bye-bye for now.